Picture this. You're 32, pulling in 75 grand a year, which feels pretty solid, right? You've got about 18K stashed in savings. You're putting 6% in your 401k because that's what HR suggested. You splurge on nice dinners out on the weekends. Hey, you work hard, you deserve it. And deep down, you think you're handling your money just fine. But then you hop online, punch your numbers into one of those retirement calculators, and it spits out that by 65, you might have around 800K. You're staring at the screen thinking, wait, is that actually going to be enough? You don't really know. And that nagging doubt, that feeling you're missing something big, is exactly why we're diving into this today. Hey, I'm Bill. I geek out way too much over how folks in their 30s totally get the whole time and money thing wrong. If you're busting your butt doing all the right financial stuff, but still feel like you're lagging behind, smash that subscribe button and hit the like if this resonates. Here's the thing no one warns you about when you hit your 30s. This is the sneakiest decade for your finances. You finally got a decent paycheck. You're not barely getting by like in your 20s. You can afford cool stuff. You actually feel like a grown-up. But that comfort zone, that I've made it vibe, is exactly what's stopping most people from building real wealth. And I'm going to break it down why. Let me drop a stat that'll wake you up. According to the Federal Reserve's latest survey of consumer finances, the typical net worth for Americans under 35 is around $39,000. And for 35 to 44, it's about $135,000. Yeah, it might not sound awful, but think about this. If someone making $60K a year saves just 15% starting at 30 and invests it in a basic index fund with average historical returns around 10%, they could end up with close to $1.8 million by 65. The gap between average and what's possible isn't some fancy stock-picking secret or insider tips. It's grasping one key thing most people overlook entirely. Your 30s are make or break because of simple math that's boring on paper but eye-opening when it clicks. A dollar invested at 30 could grow to about $17 by 65, based on that 10% long-term market average. Wait until 40? It only hits around $10. You're basically cutting your wealth potential by 40% just by delaying a decade. The cash you put in early works way harder, almost twice as hard, as what you invest later. Time isn't just helpful for building wealth, it's the secret weapon. You might be thinking, okay, Bill, compound interest is awesome. I've heard that. But here's the real kicker no one talks about. In your 30s, you've got enough money to feel comfy, but not enough to feel rich. And that in-between spot is a killer for your future. Let me break it down. Back in your 20s, scraping by on 30 to 40K, you knew you were broke, no pretending. Roommates, cheap eats, paying off loans, it sucked, but it forced you to pay attention. Then your 30s roll in, and you're at 70, 80, even 100K. Nice apartment, decent car lease, annual vacation, better groceries. It feels like you've arrived. But here's the tough truth. Comfortable and wealthy are worlds apart, and mixing them up robs you of real freedom down the road. Some quick numbers. Say you're earning 80K in your early 30s. After taxes, take home around 60K. Spending 50K to live nicely, saving 10K a year feels responsible. That's over the average savings rate. Invest that 10K annually from 30 to 65, you hit about $3 million. Solid, right? But bump it to saving 25K a year, living on 35K after taxes, totally doable with smart choices. You're looking at $7.5 million. Same job, same pay. Just keeping your lifestyle closer to your 20s for another 10 years. People push back hard. Why grind for good money if I can't enjoy it now? I hear you. It sounds rough keeping a tight budget when you're earning more. But the happiness difference between living on 35K versus 50K in your 30s is tiny day to day. What crushes it? Options in your 40s, 50s, 60s. Working because you want to, not because you have to. Taking time off for travel or family. Knowing a health scare or job loss won't wipe you out. This ties into something cool from behavioral economics called present bias. We're wired to grab instant rewards and downplay bigger future ones, even if the future payoff is huge. At 32, 65 feels forever away. Abstract. But that new ride, bigger place, weekend getaway, immediate and exciting. Your brain picks now over later. Another harsh reality. Most 30-somethings are accidentally locking into a lifestyle they can't sustain forever. Decisions based on today's income, ignoring that jobs can vanish. The average person deals with unemployment multiple times in their career. And big medical bills hit a ton of folks hard enough to shake their finances. But when things are going well, those risks feel far off, so you stretch for the house, the car payment, commitments needing your full paycheck. Then life happens. No buffer, no wiggle room. Stuck. So what should you do differently? Let's get practical. First, figure out your FI number. How much invested lets you live off growth without touching principal. Rough rule, multiply desired annual spending by 25. Want 50K a year? Aim for 1.25 million. 60K? 1.5 million. Base it on what you actually want, not what you think you should have. Second, check your savings rate as a percentage of gross income and run the numbers on how long till FI. Free online calculators. Plug in net worth, savings rate, expected returns. Most people never do this. They guess they'll work till 70-something, but bumping savings 10% might mean retiring at 58. Third, build an opportunity fund beyond your emergency stash. 3 to 6 months expenses in high-yield savings. This is 6 to 12 months invested conservatively for jumping on big chances like a business idea, investment, or career shift. Without it, you're tied to spending or untouchable retirement funds. Fourth, audit your big expenses hard. Skip latte shaming. Focus on housing, transportation, food. 40% of income on rent or mortgage? Problem. $600 car payment? Problem. $1,000 on eating out or delivery? Problem. Ask, does this get me closer to FI? Every dollar on lifestyle inflation is stealing future freedom. The mindset that flipped it for me, think money in terms of time bought, not stuff. That $8 coffee could be $136 in 35 years, buying hours of freedom. $40,000 car, potentially $680,000 in future security. View spending as trading lifetime and choices get clearer. I know this sounds heavy, like I'm saying sacrifice all fun. Not at all. Most people spend unconsciously, following society's successful 30-something playbook that keeps you working forever. I'm saying wake up. You've got choices. Live a bit below means now for way more later. Or max out now and plan to work into your 70s. Both okay, but choose consciously. Most drift into the grind. True wealth in your 30s means going against the grain. While friends buy maxed out houses, you rent or go smaller. They lease new cars, you drive paid off. Fancy charged vacations, you skip or budget. They'll think you're cheap or struggling, but in 20 years, when you've got freedom and they're stuck, you'll be glad you did it different. Today, grab a spreadsheet or paper. Jot your age, net worth, income, monthly spend. Project 15 years of saving or investing at current pace. Look hard. Is that the future you want? If yes, awesome, keep rolling. If that knot hits your stomach, pick one big change this month. Cut housing, move, roommate, ditch the car payment for cash buy, cook more. Something to boost savings real. Your 30s decide if you're set for freedom or chained to work till old. Your call, but make it on purpose. Don't coast like everyone else. Your future you is counting on today's moves. If this shifted how you see money, subscribe. I drop these real talk finance videos weekly. Comment your biggest money struggle right now. I read them all, and they shape future content. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.